Let me start by saying that one of the important things about this project for us when we came on board, and I should share with you that the European Union did an evaluation of this project very recently, about a month ago, in fact. And when they contacted us and they said, you represent this project in Nigeria, what has been your experience? And we were very happy to discuss it with them for one particular reason. This project had all the components that we believe are important in making a difference. There's a practical implementation component. There was a campaign in this project, a campaign addressing the issue of youth who are at risk of migration. And we had an intervention where they were put through a process trying to change their attitude and their orientation to migrate because they were prepared.
The European Union has been actively engaged in developing toward the prevention of eradication of trafficking in human beings. To give you just three examples in the last 2 years, what is going on within the European Union at the moment. First, there was in 2012 the appointment of the EU anti-trafficking coordinator. There was the adoption of a new directive on the prevention of combating and trafficking in human beings and protecting its victims. Also, the European Union launched its strategy towards the eradication of trafficking in human beings 2012-2016. More than 100 European civil society organizations joined forces in a new EU civil society platforms against trafficking in human beings. If you want more information about this civil society platform, just Google "Together Against Trafficking in Human Beings," okay, and you will have all the info again.
The research method we use the qualitative method in conducting the interview guides. We had 37 returnees which were identified. We actually had more than 37, but 37 people were accepted. Most of the interviewers, we use the snowball techniques, where we interview one person and he gets us another person. So that was how we got our interviewees.
Reintegration is successful if migrant return is sustainable. The factors affecting sustainability. Degree of voluntarism in the return process, those who are forced out, deported. Now, the word forced out, deported means the victims that were forced back. And even the ones that are coming voluntarily, they are still coming under deportation. And there are factors that makes people reject the AVR system, which is the assisted voluntary return. Because some of them, initially they offer them the opportunity to come back under the AVR system, where they can get some assistance to start their life here. But due to some factors, like maybe they have some money they are owing back home, maybe there's a threat against their life, they reject those opportunities, believing that they have a case. For instance, in 2011, I visited like 9 prisons in UK and some in Switzerland, and most of the people I talked to, some were not willing to come back because they felt, oh, I have a case in court, and the outcome of the case might favor me, so they will give me the right to stay back.
Within the ECOWAS, we have 6 cardinal axes. I won't take you through that one. And there are actions for irregular migration, and I would advise that you take advantage of that common approach that has been adopted by heads of state 2008.
So I think that one of the first things to do, is to let a lot of people know what the reality of life for an illegal immigrant in Europe is.
So for our younger ones which are in school, what can we do? Beyond integrating into the curriculum of the immigration and the police officers the issue of human rights, our children also do what we call civic education in schools. Can we begin to speak with Ministry of Education, for example?
Suddenly somebody just came to me and said, hey, why not let's go to Europe? My friend, he was also doing well, and then let's go and make good money there than we stay in Nigeria. And say, wow. Our thinking is that we're going to Europe to make more money, we're going to Europe to make dollars and everything. Everything turned out to be zero. And then I came back to Nigeria. In fact, I was in Lagos for 3 months. I couldn't even go back to my house.
I think there should be maybe a summit where government agencies can come together and bring out issues or challenges.
I think that this is an important forum, but I think there needs to be other platforms where you share.
So I think the issue of stakeholders is a very, 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 very important one. And I was surprised that immigration is not here, because at the stakeholders meeting, which I feel that this forum should be part of it, all what we're discussing here, I think will reach out to more people.
We recently did a baseline for about 27 officers at 7 different land border posts on their training needs. And we found out that majority of them, the only training they had about human trafficking is the training they received from their training school since 2006. They are not even aware of the current trends of human trafficking or the current trends of migration. And we are now planning to retrain them. And it's not only limited to Nigerian Immigration Service. Sorry to say it, NATIP is there. They also post from department to department. So at times when you train these people, they make the train useless to them because they won't be in the relevant department to use the training.
That the central question must be not what could the EU doing. No, the central question is what can Nigeria doing. It's more important that you stop somebody here.
Full time with us and contributing in such a meaningful manner. I've learned a lot, and we have a lot of good recommendations to take forward. Just a couple of observations and things to note. Working with government, it's a very significant point that came up several times today. Our learning is that there is a way. We can't just say you can't work with government. We have to find the specific ways, whether it means they can't attend the general forum, but you have to go to them one-on-one and see the ED and sit and talk. So this is a learning. And then if you have colleagues who are in ECOWAS, who were formerly in the ministry or were formerly in immigration, you can ask them, can you help get our invitation through? So I think a lot of networking needs to be done, and that is something we take note of. So for us, it's a learning. There are also very important issues. Dr. Chichi led the way when she talked about the issue of really getting the stories out there and letting people know that it's not a land of roses, milk and honey, and dollars are not on the street. And it came up again and again. And it makes me think about the issue of the media. And we heard about Nollywood, and we were recommended about the importance of Nollywood. And I think for all of us we have to start thinking of creative ways of reaching the young people. I like the stratification of different groups, that we have to look at those who are already sold on the idea of going, and those who are really potentially can be influenced, the younger ones. How do you reach them? We have heard it's difficult to work in schools, but we have to find a way. We have to find creative and entertaining ways, because we know young people, you can't just come and give them a lecture or give them a docudrama. You have to really entertain them, and that's very, very important.